Oh man, I need water. Alright, so in this video, I'm gonna do some initial setup of both Reach Router and Overmind. So the first thing that we need to do is install those packages. So yarn install, the first one's gonna be Reach Router. Then we need Overmind. Is it Overmind or Overmind.js? Oh, yeah, just Overmind. And Overmind has another package called Overmind React. And I think that's all we need right now. Yeah. Oh, right. I have to do yarn add and let that go. And then Reach Router is written in JavaScript, so we're going to need the types for it. So yarn add. And for those of you that are unfamiliar, the definitely typed has packages for what are these things called? NPM sub packages. The types are going to be it's going to look like this. So reach underscore underscore, is it 2 underscores? Yeah, it's just 2 underscores router. So it's the parent package followed by 2 underscores and then the sub package. So we'll add that too. I misspelled it. So yarn add at types. This is Reach Router, not React Router. So yeah, dev dependency, so -d. And alright, now we're ready to get started. Let's start with the router. Alright, so I open up our app file. Let's import stuff from Reach Router. At Reach Router. And I'm gonna make a new app component where we're gonna be returning router, and router comes from Reach Router. And I'm gonna change this to a temporary component. And all you have to do is inside of router, just do temp and the path to that component. So I'm going to do default, and this is going to give us a problem because temp is supposed to be, we're not giving a type for its interface. So I'm going to do react dot, you know what, let's actually destructure the thing since everyone's doing that these days. And the type is going to be route component props, and that will allow us to define props given to us from Reach Router in our regular components. So that's the default. Default is just a catch-all, so it's a wildcard. Every path will go to the hello world. So let's start that, or start the application. Do yarn start, and I'm gonna go into Chromium, localhost 3000, and here's our app. We just get a hello world. But if Reach Router is working correctly, we can go to any route, and we should still get hello world. Cool, I guess. Right now, the benefit of Reach Router is that all the router props, or all the route location props, things, whatever we want, is inside of props. So Reach Router will automatically give our top level page component all the information that we want. So, and we have TypeScript, so I don't have to really look too hard. We do props dots, and we have location. So let's just do URI instead, and we could do a refresh. We get hello world and slash at the root route, and then if we go to a different route, so like I'm still using any route for some reason, we'll get any route in that area. So that's a small little benefit, but we don't really need this right now. And I think it would be a good idea to let's start working on the layout. So if we just go up and down, the layout is going to be the header and footer, and this is going to appear on every page. So we're going to want it on a level higher than the router, so it'll appear on every page basically. Which is going to be header and footer, and for that I'm going to I'm just gonna start tmux so we have two windows. And I'm gonna make a directory inside of source called components, and this is where we're gonna add our header, footer, and layout components. So touch source components header, we are tx. So we're inside of a create React app, so I'm going to use the naming convention of that, which is just, was it upper camel case? No, it's Pascal case. So I'm going to capitalize every component file. Source components slash footer.tsx, source components slash layout.tsx, and then open up those three files. I still want instructions because we're going to be kind of pseudo copy and pasting. Not really though. Footer, header, layout, and add your React boilerplate to all of them. Div. Alright, so I have layout, header, and footer, and they're just divs right now. They don't have anything, but layout is gonna be somewhat special. We're gonna make sure that it is a function component so that React could give us children, and we'll just render the children inside of these two divs, and that will be children here. And the idea of this is that in our app, we're gonna have the top level be the layout. And move this in there. And layout's just gonna have the header on top, the footer on bottom, and then all the children, which is gonna be determined by the router, is gonna live in the middle. So let's start with the footer because it's less convoluted, I think. And that would be down here somewhere, which is here. This is the thing that we're going to copy. And yeah, sure, why not? Let's just copy it. And we'll paste it here. So this. And like I said, we have to change all of these to class names. And we're also going to change this anchor to a link from each router, which we'll import right now. Link and two, and that should be good to go. Let's jam it into our layout at the bottom, and this is going to be the footer. Import that, add a space here, and if we do oh right, we have to start our app again. And once you start your app, here's the footer down here with the bootstrap stuff. So Thinkster is a normal link that we could just click and go to the Thinkster website. But if we go back, Conduit is not a normal link. This is actually a link inside of our app. You'll notice that we're still on the any route. So if we click this, we should go to the root route. And we do. Now it's just localhost 3000. Now let's do the header as well. Okay, back to this. We close out the footer because it's no longer necessary. Layout, I believe all we need to do is add the header which we'll need to import as well. Let's order this correctly. Alright, let's look at the instructions. So it looks like it wants the header and footer not to be inside a single div. So in layout, I'm going to change this outer div to a fragment. And let's move up to header. It's going to be all this stuff. So what we want is this part right here. So everything inside this nav. Copy, paste. Okay, so we're going to use this as a pseudo reference. We're not going to just blatantly change all the classes to class names and call it a day like we did with the footer. We're going to be a little smart about this. So all the anchor tags are going to be changed to links from reach router. So we'll import reach router really quick. And then this list of list items are all dependent on whether or not we're authenticated. So we're actually going to have an array for that. So I'm going to call it page links. And we'll map through it. With that out of the way, let's make the page link component here really quick. So I'm going to call it nav link. And this is going to be just the li. So class name is going to be nav item. And then we'll do the normal bootstrap stuff, which is link to, and then let's see, we want a class name here, and this is navlink. Class name here is going to be ion something. This is also going to be a prop that we need, and then the inside is going to be a prop that we need. All right, so that means interface props. So the navlink needs three things. We need a 2, which is a string, and that's going to be the path to where things are going. We also need an icon, and I think the icon's going to be optional, since not all of them are going to have an icon. And then finally the inner thing, which I will call label. With that, we'll do, alright, function component, component, there, with props, and then we can destructure those things. So I'm going to do 2, icon, label, and we'll add those props in. So the 2 here, label goes here, and the icon is going to be optional. So we're going to have it like this and like this. I'm also going to change this I tag to a span, because that's more semantically correct HTML. And I think it'd be a good idea to move this to a different component. So let's do touch source components, and this is going to be navlink.tsx, and let's just boop and boop that here. There we go. So I have the imports, and we still need function component and link here, because this is now going to be a link name to, I'm going to get rid of all of this, and I'm going to add a little placeholder JSX thing. Let's put class names here and here. and here. The page link here, I'm gonna just add a to do here and call it, these are the temporary page links, but they're gonna be of type navlink props. And let's expose the navlink props. So in navlink, we're just gonna do export type navlink props equals to props. We want the private namespace of props to just be props, just because this is a good convention to go with, and then export it as navlink props. So I'm gonna do that, save, auto import, and make sure this is a array type. And let's just add some dummy data here. Alright, so I added some dummy data here. These are just the usual links. These are just some of the links with the icons available in the actual Conduit app. And here we're just going to do page links.map, and then everything is going to be link to, let's call it page. And this is a nav link. And I'm going to pass in all the props. Oop. Alright, page. Because we named it page. And this should satisfy TypeScript because these are the exact typing that we want. I guess we don't actually need this, so I get rid of that. And once that's done, we go into our app, and there's our little header. And we have hello world here. And these links should work, so we just go in, press all of them, and the routes are changing. So that's the basic setup of Reach Router. Now let's go into Overmind. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm just gonna kill a bunch of these files, and we're gonna make a new directory. So I'm gonna do not touch, make directory, source, and I think I'm gonna call it state. Yeah, I think that's a good name. Let's open this up, and let's just have a normal index file, which I usually don't like, but whatever. We're gonna import a couple things from Overmind. So import from Overmind, and then we'll also import from Overmind React. Overmind React. Right now we're just gonna create a config object, and the config object is gonna be basically our state. So it's gonna hold all of our states and actions and effects. Right now it's going to be empty because we haven't really added any state. And Overmind wants us to do a declare here. This is just going to be TypeScript stuff. Declare module Overmind. And then we're going to make sure that the interface of config extends iConfig of our config object. Alright. So what this declare means is usually what you see in the type.d.ts files, which is called a TypeScript declaration file. What it means is that every time we access the module of Overmind, it's going to make sure that it's the type inference is going to be for our specific application itself. So it's a little handy. It'll make TypeScript smarter whenever we use Overmind. And then finally, we need to do export const Overmind is create Overmind and config. And that's basically creating the Overmind instance using our config. And we're also going to create our custom use Overmind hook. So const use Overmind create hook, not hash, hook. Type of config. No, not that one either. That one. Okay. So that's just gonna be a React hook that we can use, and I think that's good for now. So now, I don't actually want to. I'm gonna open up the index file, so our entry file, and we're gonna create the. We're gonna add the provider here. Also gonna make a quick change here to render, get rid of this so we don't import the entire React DOM, and we'll do Overmind React, which gives us a provider, and we'll do provider here, move this up, move the comma, and value, and the value is going to be Overmind that we just created, the one from our state file. Save. So provider is just a React context provider that's custom made by Overmind to use our Overmind value, so that whenever we use a hook, it's using the specifics underlying technologies that Overmind uses. And then finally, there's one thing that I want to mention, is that in VS Code, if you look for extensions for Overmind, there's an Overmind dev tools that you can create, or that you can use. It's fairly helpful when developing with Overmind. It's a lot like the Redux dev tools, except it's inside of your VS Code. So VS Code becomes an IDE instead of just a text editor, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to get into the argument. But it'll look like this. So we do Overmind DevTools start. Right now it's not going to do anything because our state is really stupid. It's not doing anything. There's no state in it, and there's no actions happening. So even if we connect to the default port, nothing will happen. But in the next video, we're going to work on auth, and this is going to be something important. So, yeah, with that, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.